All right, happy Friday, April 25th, 2025. April 25th, 2025. We're going to do an update. Actually, the biggest thing I'm going to talk to you about today is going to be we're going to talk about what is available on the marketplace right now. We're going to talk about that, what's available on the market. So let's dive in. We're going to look at what is there for sure. So let me share with you a couple things. We're going to look at MLS. We're going to look at what are we seeing on MLS? What are we seeing as far as buyers? What are we seeing with sellers? That type of thing. We're trying to find the best deals possible. That's exactly what we're going to look for today. What are those best deals in different categories? So we're going to start with that. What is available on the market? So when we're talking about the villages, obviously over the last couple of years, we've seen tremendous increase in inventory. Like we've never seen before. We haven't seen this kind of inventory increase. Part of the reason is that the villages wasn't a mature marketplace. Now it's a mature marketplace. We've seen increases in inventory, but not to this level. And we've never seen this many homes on the market. We've seen 400 or 500 homes on the market. Now we're 700 plus homes on the market currently at this moment. So, that's definitely a thing that we're seeing right now. But what I do want to show you is as you can see on the screen, we're going to look at properties that I think or segments in the marketplace where you might be able to find the best deal possible. One of the things that I'm seeing is, especially on the lower end, if you look at, for instance, let's look at the lowest price property right now, 124.9. And that is a mobile home that's been on the market for 10 days. Now, look, a mobile home is not for everybody, but for investors that are looking for a really good deal. And by the way, I'm not even looking at whether these are our listings or not. I'm just taking the whole market and trying to be unbiased completely. I'm like, okay, we haven't seen this many properties under 200,000. And I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking at, there's almost all of them. Looking through, they're all manufactured housing, right? 195 and below, they're manufactured homes on the historic section on the east side of 441. I think there's some opportunity there to get a really good deal because we're seeing these prices, we're seeing like 3 or 4 that are under 150, and we start looking at days on market, and some of these have been on the market for more than 3 months, and one of them has been on the market for longer than that. So I think there's an opportunity there for sure. The other segment, let's move on up. Let's move up to a higher price range, I think, is the next bracket, which is now you start looking at the lower end of the non-mobile home market, which is, this one on Laurel Run, or Laurel Lane rather. That's a 2-2 single family. It's on the Orange Blossom side, but once again, 215,000 could be interesting. And especially now, what I'm seeing is typical is like, if you can get at least 3 to 5% off on pricing, I think it's a good move, good play. Kind of cover yourself a little bit. Some of these 1-1s here are, in the lower 200s, but I just talked to one of my great agents, and they've got a fabulous deal, a nice non-manufactured home, 2-bedroom, 2-bath patio villa. I'm going to show you that because it's like, wow, that's a really good deal, 249.9. Right, let's see, where is it? It is. Scroll down just a little bit more. On Ensley Court. So I think it's a really good deal, 249.9. Looks really good. There's opportunities here. I'm seeing opportunities we haven't seen since 2020. Right now, what's interesting about that, like you would think there's kind of like a paradox going on right now in the villages, Florida, which is, okay, you're seeing good deals and we're seeing really good demand as well. We're matching last year's demand. even though, some people might think, well, the stock market's bouncing up and down and there's some fear there. Of course, some people are holding back. Not everybody's holding back. Some people are like, wait, I want to see what happens. But some people are like, no, I'm buying, just like we saw that hesitation with interest rates when it went up. So, I think this is a pretty good deal. 2499 Ensley Court. And this one was built in 2008. So you start comparing, do comparison shopping here for two bedrooms, two baths. There's nothing. Well, this one here is a smaller. This is a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, but only 979 square feet. As far as like patio villas, 2008 or newer, that's the best priced property on the market. So that, there's things out there that if you really search and you really have somebody that's able to analyze the data and really look at what's happening, you're probably going to look at 3 to 5% off on something that's, well priced now, possibly. So I think that's a really good thing to do. Now let's go up in price. Let's start looking at 3 bedrooms, right? I think the 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, I think you can get something for like 250 and under. There's a few properties that are under 250, but now let's look at the three bedrooms. Let's see what you can do, right? Like, let's say 2 bedrooms, you don't want a patio villa. Let's say you want, something with 3 bedrooms. Let's see what we're looking at there. Let's find where that value is. 3 bedrooms. Okay. So there's one at Petunia. That's a manufactured home. There's one on Seabrook. That's a 3 bedroom. That's, 275. Looking at about 1,400 square feet. So you can get something to real deals. Like if you get something, you want something a little bit larger, like 1,400 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. There's a few that are under 300. I feel like there's some value there. Let's take it a step further and say 3 bedrooms, 2 baths with year built. You want something newer, let's say last 10 years, right? You want something newer. So we're going to say 2015, 2025. Let's see what pops up, right? You want something newer because we're looking at older homes there. All right. 2017, a little bit smaller, but there's some things in the 320 to 330 range, a few that are there. That's not bad, right? Village of Southern Oaks, something that's a little bit newer, built in the last 4 years. Village of Southern Oak is if you don't know where that is, that's going to be, give you an idea. Let's pull out, let's go to the map. So in the southern area of the Villages, right? These are all the properties, but Southern Oak is going to be in this section here, right? In this area south of the Turnpike, this area here. Okay. Let's go back to criteria. And once again, we got 3 bedrooms. Let's see if there's anything. Let's take it a notch up on square footage. So let's say something larger than 1,600 square feet. Let's say 1,600 to 2,100. For some of you, that might be a little bit small. So let's go up. What's the best value? 350 to 500. Right, so it depends, right? We haven't even gotten the golf course view. This is a pretty good deal in Southern Oaks, 350,000, a little bit larger, 1,600 square feet. That's nice. And then it goes up from there. So this area right here, like if you're looking for good value, looking at right around is this one here in Fruitland Park, Orchard Way, is right around 466A. It's probably right around the Pine Hills area. Right, so still newer. If you're looking for something newer, these are where it's at. If you want something a little bit larger, let's go a little bit larger. A little bit larger, looking at, let's say, 2,100 to 3,000. Of course, the prices are going to go up. We're going up in price. There's 14 available in the Villages. This is the MLS, by the way, not Property of the Villages. By the way, my name is Glenn with Realty Executives, if you don't know, I'm the broker owner. So look, probably a really good value here. This one's on O'Brien Place, 600,000, 2563 square feet, built in 2016. It's got a golf cart garage. There's some value. If you start digging, you can really find in each category, you can find some really, really good values. I'm really impressed by this. And let's do one more. Let's look at golf cart garages. Let's see if we can. Let's do that. Bear with me. Let's put in 3. Yeah, there we go. 3-car garage. Okay. Actually larger. Actually, I like that better than golf cart. So 3-car garage, which is a lot of cases they'll count as a golf cart plus the 2-car. This one looks pretty good. This is a 624.5. Now we added more to it, right? More square footage, newer, that type of thing. So we're looking at year build 2015 through 2025. Pricing starts at 624.5, 3 bedrooms, over 2,100 square feet, plus a 3-car garage. These are good values, right? Southern Oaks, once again, Southern Trace. This one, what village is this one in? I don't remember Harlow Lane is. This is in LaBelle North, right? So good values everywhere. This is really a good time to buy because it's kind of like, we're getting good demand. We got a lot of inventory, but it's a good buy because, a lot of people are kind of falling asleep on, it's very much like the stock market. Like people are falling asleep on the opportunities that are out there. Right. So when things are like, well, I don't know if I should buy, a little bit of hesitancy, that's usually the best time to buy. It really is, because when interest rates go down or when things are normal and things are going well, everybody else is going to be, okay, it's a good time to jump in. So you have more buyers jumping in. So opportunities everywhere. If you have questions, here's my number, 352-572-3796. Happy April. Hope everybody is doing well, and we'll talk soon.